All right, let's talk about the calibration of a bore gauge. A bore gauge by itself doesn't measure anything directly because only shows the relative change, right? Um, this is a simple regular bore gauge set, comes with the analog dial, but I'm gonna use our wireless dial gauge, which make the whole thing a wireless bore gauge set, right? Install this one first and tighten the screw. Everything is ready. We have an app called MultiGage that allows you to pair with this and gives you a lot of feature. Go to pairing, make sure you pair with this one. As soon as, make sure it's on. As soon as you pair, it's gonna show you the real-time value of this here, and it gives you a lot of feature that we'll talk about it and how we can use that to do the calibration. So calibration, again, you have to use a reference for calibration, right? What is a reference? You can use either a setting ring, which comes in a certain size for your measurement, and you send to the lab sends you a certification, so what's the size, and then once you put this one within the gauge and you look at the maximum and calibrate at the maximum number. Well, if I don't have that, how about that? If I don't have a setting ring, you can use a micrometer. So how to use micrometer to calibrate it? Depends on your part. Let's say I have a part here. This is a part I want to do measurement. Let's look at the specs of the part. It says the ID should be 1.960 with a tolerance of 1/10,000th of inch. The upper limit and the lower limit based on the tolerance. The question if this part accepted or not, right? So you can use that micrometer, set that micrometer to that specs value, and calibrate your bore gauge. That's one way to do it. Well, the second way that some people do, instead of set this one to that number, you can just set it to any number and calibrate that gauge with it, right? As long as we have this tool. So what I did here, I put the micrometer to 2 inch, set it to 2 inch, and also you can use caliper actually. You can use it to 2 inch, and this is 2 inch, and use the caliper and as a reference. But of course, the caliper, most of the caliper are not that accurate, so the accuracy will go down. But if you don't have anything, micrometer or setting ring, that's the only option you have. But I'm gonna use micrometer, bring this one on. So I have to put this gauge here and look at the maximum reading here, right? I'm gonna just bring it to the full screen. Max, mean, reading are here. Clear them first, and let's see what happens here. Let's move this one away so you can see everything, right? Okay, so put the gauge within the micrometer, rock it back and forth, and it reads the maximum. The beauty of the whole thing here is because this wireless gauge is transmitting the continuous reading, automatically it's going to capture the maximum reading. All right, after a couple of times rocking back and forth, the maximum is captured, which in this case is 0.0. So basically 2 inch is going to show up, it's showing up in my gauge as 0.04325, right? So I'm going to use this one and create a new calculation or calculated gauge in our app. That's the beauty of this app, that you can create a new gauge is calculated out of that by putting the equation. I'm going to put an equation, 2 inch plus the difference between this maximum minus the reading of the gauge at each moment. So it's going to be minus that number, right? Minus the reading of the gauge. The reading of the gauge in our app is called S1, depends how many gauge you pair. So let's go back here, go to calculator, enter that equation, 2 plus 0.04325. You don't need to go to that far in terms of digit, but that's fine. The number I have here, I just enter it, doesn't change much here for our accuracy. So that's the number you're seeing, right? I can add this one as a gauge, and when I come here, so that's the reading of this size at each time. If I just put it in any part, it's going to show the value, right? But the problem is this is going to be real-time value. It's hard to see what is the minimum size, which represents the ID. So the app allows you to go to setting, enter the minimum reading, save it. Also, you can actually enter the tolerance that you have. Let's add that one too. Turn on the tolerance. Upper limit would be 1.961. The lower would be 1.959. And from now on, the app tells you it's accepted or not. It's red, it's not accepted, of course, because the number is 2 point something. So clear the whole thing and let's do the measurement. Before doing the measurement, you can check your calibration and make sure it's good. So if I do the check here, it should give me 2 inch because this is a 2 inch, right? Let's see if it works. So this one automatically is going to capture the lower number by, if you rock it back and forth a couple times, it captures a lower number. Well, it's 2 inch, so it's calibrated. That's good. That's what we're expecting, right? Otherwise, there was something wrong. Now you can just come here, clear again, put the gauge within your part, the bore, simply back and forth. The reading is here, as simple as this. There is no math, there is no calculation. It shows you red or green based on the tolerance that you enter. The part is good. If you want to do one more measurement, you can capture and save this one actually by tapping this. Let's do another one at different angle. Rock it back and forth. The number is good. Capture. Let's do another one. Also, you can go and see all those recorded values here, right? So if I come here, clear again, make sure always clear before the next reading, and put the gauge within the bore, back and forth, 1.960, it looks pretty consistent. So every time you capture, actually gives you a reflection here that's captured, sound. And you can go and look at those numbers they're reading. I have 3, definitely they're within the range. Everything looks good. You can come here, save them. The name of the part, saved it, and later you can go to the main page, measurement, and select that one and look at those readings and for future reporting and references. Of course, you can export these readings as a CSV or send it to your email. Anyway, so we talk about the calibration. What's the calibration process in bore gauge? You have to either have a setting ring as a reference, you have to have either micrometer, or the worst case, if you don't have anything, at least you have a caliper. You can use that one, set to a certain size, and just do the whole calibration process as I showed you. Thanks for watching.